Good morning. Good morning. Today is Friday, June 23rd. You guys know what that means. That means same day expiration day for all you DGens out there. Looking at the economical calendar, we had basically Powell speak yesterday to the Senate. You guys could see the effect that had on the overall market. Yesterday was kind of like a muted day. We didn't have too much crazy action. We had that initial run up in the morning and then we kind of muted off after that. But I'll show you guys that later. Overall, looking at the calendar over here, we have Fed Buller. He spoke at 5 a.m. this morning. 8:30, we have PMI, so make sure you guys pay attention to that. And then at 1:40, we have another Fed speaker. Make sure you guys check this out. This is on Market Watch. Jumping off to the watch list, we have Shopify. Looking at Shopify, Shopify basically had that nice run up towards 67 and we're starting to taper off over here, starting to fade off. We hit a lot of resistance points. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4. So a lot of resistance over here at that $67 level, and we basically start to pull back from there. Want to see if we break and hold above 64 before you start pushing back up towards 67. So make sure you guys set your alerts. This way you guys can see if Shopify is uptrending, but to the downside, we definitely want to watch to see if it breaks down to the downside from 61 and we can start getting to 60, maybe even lower from there. If we look at the 1 year, you guys can see the 1 year starting to cross down. So it may be time for a possible pullback on Shopify. She did have a nice run up from earnings. You guys can see this was the earnings on May 2nd. We basically shot up from like 47, 48, went up to 67, and now she's basically run out of steam. So let me know what you think below in the comments. What do you guys think about Shopify? But on to the next one. We want to talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA, basically, this is the 180-day 4-hour, meaning each one of these candles, no matter how big or small, represents 4 hours of time. So looking at this chart over here, you guys can see that NVIDIA hit 439.90, and she's kind of tapering off as well. A lot of stocks are hitting resistance points. Remember, we just came from a bull run, right? Bull run means the stocks went from a low point to a high point. You guys can see the overall run up on NVIDIA where it basically went from 193 all the way up towards 439 within 180 days, which is crazy for any stock. So looking at NVIDIA, I want to watch to see how it's going to overall react over here. MACD is crossed down in a bearish position. RSI has room to the downside and it has room to the upside. So nothing is out the game right now. So definitely want to watch to see if we break 430 and we can start going to 439, or if we start to break 419, we could possibly start dropping down towards this support level. You can see the stock went up, start to go flat. That is a support level. So it could possibly become a new support level. So watch for the break of 420 or 419 down towards these 400 levels on NVIDIA. Next one we're going to throw into the watch list is Meta. Meta has been on an uptrend as well. You guys can see Meta is basically hitting a resistance level as well. Seems to be a common trend. A lot of stocks are in sync with each other where they're hitting a resistance point and they're struggling to go higher. So we hit this resistance point on June 16th. Is now June 23rd, and we have not got above 287.85. So I'm going to set my alert to see if we break above that level. But definitely want to watch to see if we break above 287 or 288, and then we can start pushing up towards the 290s, 300s. Meta has been on an amazing upward trend as well. If you look at the 180-day from $88 to 287, if you guys had bought the lows, you guys would have been up right now, but definitely want to focus on the present. Watch for the break below 281, then you could start going to 276 to the downside. Let's talk about Apple. Apple's basically been on a nice upward trend too. Look at Apple from 124 to 187. She has a resistance level from June 16th. Something happened on June 16th. Comment below if you guys look at the economical calendar. What happened on June 16th that's affecting these stocks, right? Because since June 16th, we hit that 187. We basically pulled back, tried it again, and then we can't break it. So let's watch to see if Apple breaks that 187.50. Then we can start going up towards the 190s to the upside or to the downside. Of course, I always wait for the break of the trade line, which is going to be around like 185. Once we start to hold below 185, then the stock's on a bearish trend down towards 183, maybe even down towards 180. Next, we're going to talk about Tesla, right? Tesla went from even bigger lows, right? Tesla went from 101 to 279. So I want to watch to see what happened with Tesla. Tesla actually was running up even after the 16th, right? It started to hit resistance around the 21st of June, right? This is the date and the time over here. So the 21st of June, Tesla started to taper off around like 279. She struggled. Remember, these are 4-hour candles. So even though this is a small candle, that is still 4 hours worth of time. The reason it's small is because there wasn't that many people or buyers inside of that candle, right? Or at that time point. The reason this is bigger, there was more sellers, right? So even when I hover over them, you can see the volume. You can see that the volume was a lot less over here as opposed to over here. So definitely want to watch to see what's going to happen with Tesla. I want to see a break and hold above 266 before you can start pushing up towards the 278 levels. MACD's crossed out, RSI is in the middle position over here. To the downside, we kind of have a lot of support, right? So Tesla could be trapped in here for a while just because she could kind of pinball back and forth until she breaks out to the upside or the downside. So we kind of want to set your alerts. This way you guys are alerted, but you could possibly find like good day trades, especially if we drop down towards a smaller chart, like the 20-day. You can see like a break above 262, then we could start going to 267. 267 is a resistance point. We could possibly break that and possibly go higher to 280 or to the downside, maybe 259 down towards 254. Definitely watch that for a possible day trade. That solid orange line over here, right? That represents my 1 year trade line. Basically, this on the 1 year time frame. Remember, a 1 year is going to be like a major break, so this could act like a major support. Definitely want to be careful of that. So a lot of choppiness going on with the charts, right? We're not that smooth movement that we had last week. Now, talking about SPY, right? SPY, let's jump back over towards the 180-day 4-hour. You guys can see that we basically went from 414 to 443, and basically around that June 16th again, hit that resistance level at 443 or 444, and then we basically started to sell off. So let's see what overall happens. Overall, the stock has been struggling to make higher highs. MACD's crossed down, RSI is getting closer to be oversold. So this level over here, this 433, has been some type of basically support before. So we need to break 433 to the downside in order to get a nice short. Once we break 433, we could get into this pocket over here around like 430s. So definitely want to watch for that. And to the upside, we want to watch for a break and hold above 436. And then we can start possibly going up towards that 439 up here, maybe even going back up. If we look at the 1 year, remember the SPY is basically an ETF that represents Tesla, SPY, Apple, Facebook, Netflix. All these stocks are inside this one stock over here. So this is a great stock for beginners to trade, or even if you want to get a pulse of the overall market. That's why we always put SPY last on the watch list. Just in case you're new, make sure you like and subscribe. But overall, looking at the 1 year on SPY, the RSI is very overbought. I gave an RSI lesson, I think, in our last video. It was on our Instagram as well. Make sure you guys check that out. But RSI is overbought, meaning the stock is running out of steam. Best time to buy is when the RSI is oversold, meaning the stock has a lot more potential for uptrend, right? So that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.